Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 24 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday today. I'm tired. This week has been exhausting. Our house guests of the day are Joe Dahl and Reese Adkins. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you. We appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. I think my list is running a little bit low. So like if you're interested, get in there because I'm gonna have a bunch of open slots coming up soon for the rest of the season. But anyway, before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Callie, Sarah Nichols, Adrian, Christopher Brown, and Barking Mad Pet Picks. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Really appreciate that. We couldn't remember if yesterday was the day that I didn't have the pen to write down the extra. If you super chatted yesterday, I did not thank you. I'm so sorry that I didn't have a pen, but like thank you so much. Yeah, so we also have some today from Norm the Cat. Thank you so much, Norm the Cat. Don MH302, thank you so much. Very cute sticker. Angela H, thank you so much for your super chat. And Angela says, thank you again for all your hard work. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. All right. Let's get started. Last night, Kyle was evicted by a vote of 5-0. Not even a sympathy vote for Miss Showmance. Dang. Julie let us know that next Thursday is going to be a 2-hour double eviction, baby. Woo! I'm excited. I love a double eviction. I can't wait, even though a lot of times I'm disappointed. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And we saw the episode ended with the HOH competition in progress. It's a puzzle, and Julie let us and the house guests know it's Zingbot. But Zingbot was not going to be showing up until Sunday's episode. He did come by last night, and we are going to talk about that, but we don't get to actually see Zingbot until Sunday. So, when the feeds returned, we find out. Guess who won HOH? Michael won HOH again. He has now won thrice. Yeah, 3 HOH wins. That's a big deal, especially since there's like still quite a few HOHs left. So like if he could win more than that, that's insane. But we knew to expect this. Like when we saw that it was a puzzle, Michael, I mean, come on, he's got a really good chance to win something like that, right? But damn, still like congrats to him. So anyway, when the feeds come back, everybody's hanging out. Monty and Turner are chatting in the kitchen. They had a feeling that Michael would probably win this week. I remember them talking about it last week. Monty says he was right there with Michael as they were running back and forth, moving the pieces from one end to the other. But then, once Monty was starting to look for certain pieces to put his puzzle together, all of a sudden Michael was already done. What? Apparently, it was like not even close. Michael smoked everybody. So they're thinking like, even though we can't get rid of Michael this week because he's the HOH, they at least feel confident that one of the two of them will be able to win HOH next week because Michael won't be able to play anymore. Well, for next week. But I wouldn't count the others out. I mean, if it was any sort of like endurance competition, Taylor would be in there. Mental competitions. Brittany could get down with a mental comp. Terrance could get down with a mental comp if he's still here. So, anything could happen. Also, I don't think it would be an endurance because next week is a double, but they don't know that. So anyway, Monty and Turner figure we just have to make sure that neither of us end up on the block this week. And they feel like they're probably not going to be going up, at least as the initial nominees, because Turner has already been told by pretty much everybody, look, I'm not going to put you up on the block because of what you did last week. Like everybody knows that Turner had a final 2 with Kyle, and yet Turner still put him up on the block, for the good of the whole house. So they don't want to punish him for doing that. And Monty is in kind of like a Final 4 with Brittany, Michael, and Taylor. So he figures Michael's probably not going to put me up on the block. So they feel like they should be good this week as long as Terrance or Alyssa don't win the power veto. If one of them wins the veto, somebody's going to have to go up as a replacement. Ooh. All right. Here's the yawn everybody's been asking for. So, Monty and Terrance have a chat in the car bedroom, and they're joking around that HOH competition was over before it even started. Michael was that far ahead of everyone else. So, Terrance says, at least, Michael will be vulnerable next week. And then he realizes, oh, except he won't, because from next week on, everyone is going to be able to play in every single POV competition because there's only going to be 6 people left. So everybody plays. So Monty says, yeah, like this is what he needed. He's getting through this week where one person will be sitting out of the power veto, and now he's going to be able to fight for that veto every week. So Monty is saying the thing is, in order to stay, like Michael's going to have to win every veto because everybody's going to be going after him. I wouldn't say everybody, but Monty feels Michael is going to slip up once, right? He's not going to win every single comp. And I'm going to have to be there to catch him. And then Monty's like, he is going to slip once, right? And then Monty's like, I pray that he's going to slip once. Like it keeps getting further and further away from like, oh, he's definitely going to slip. He's not as sure now. Michael is just such a competitor. But anyway, Monty says, let's just try to enjoy the week, see how things go. They're both really excited to meet Zingbot. And Terrance says, I really got farther than I thought I would get in this game. It sounds like Terrance knows he's in trouble. He's realizing, oh crap, I could be going this week. So Monty's telling Terrance, don't worry, like so much changes in this game by the minute. You never know what could happen. So then Monty starts talking about he's wondering how Kyle did in his eviction interview with Julie. The house guest noticed the crowd did not seem as hype as usual, not as much clapping going on there. And Terrance says, you know what? We did the best that we possibly could with Kyle, getting him ready, educating him. The rest is up to him to grow up, right? And Monty says the real test of growth is going to be how Kyle responds once he gets out of here. Because he's going to be exposed to the whole world again. He's going to have all these people talking to him. So that's going to be the true test. They're hoping that this situation will die down a bit before Kyle re-enters the real world. They're thinking it's probably the best case scenario for Kyle that he has the buffer of almost a month in the jury house. So that will kind of lighten the blow. It'll give time for things to blow over a little bit. Excuse me. And Terrance says Kyle is probably going to get a lot of education in the jury house, and Monty agrees. Jasmine and Indy will make sure of that. But they feel like Joseph is really a wild card. They're not really sure how Joseph is going to react to this information, especially since he got screwed over big time at Dire Fest by Kyle. So, yeah, they feel like Joseph could potentially be very upset with Kyle. Wouldn't you be? All right. So they chat more about how Michael and Brittany were sitting on that Kyle information for weeks. They're not happy about that. Monty says they used that as a game move 100%. Oh, hell yeah, they did. So Terrance agrees with that. And Terrance says that Michael and Brittany are just as much at fault as Kyle. How do you guys all feel about that? Because I don't know about that. I wouldn't take it that far. I do think that they really messed up by not sharing that information immediately, but I wouldn't say they're just as much at fault. But Terrance says that they were complacent with it. I don't know if he means complacent or complicit. I guess either way. And they were running with it. I will say at first they were definitely appearing to entertain it when they were talking to Kyle. And then it seemed like it kind of flipped. I don't know if Big Brother said something to them in the diary room or what, but I remember there was suddenly this change of like, oh, we can't go along with what Kyle is saying. Like, think about how bad that looks. And Brittany did let Kyle know that it was not a good look. She wasn't comfortable with it and she didn't want to do it. But Kyle kept pushing the matter after that point. So Monty says it's going to be very telling who Michael puts up this week. Terrance is pretty confident that he will be going up. I mean, there's just not that many options, right? And Terrance and Michael have had their issues. So Terrance says Michael and Brittany, they can win all the competitions they want, but they're not going to be getting my jury vote in the end unless, they're in the final two together. Monty brings up that if Michael is in the final two against anyone other than Brittany, that other person may end up winning because of this move. They are that upset with how this has all gone down that they're talking jury votes now. So Terrance says, if I'm in the jury house, I am going to sway that jury against Michael. I'm going to lay out the timetable of how things went down with the Kyle situation, and I'm going to tell people that they can draw their own conclusions from that. And he says that one thing that you did is going to come back and haunt the F out of you. So Terrance says, I blame Kyle 1,000%, but I do not blame him by himself. And Monty agrees, definitely not. He says the situation would be a lot different if Michael and Brittany owned up to this being a game move. But the fact that they're like playing the victim here and they're like, oh, this was so heavy on our hearts, that's not sitting well, especially with Monty and Terrance. And I believe Turner feels the same way. But Monty and Terrance especially are not happy about how that all went down. So this could hurt with the jury votes in the end. But anyway, the feeds go down for a bit for Zingbot. Everybody always looks forward to Zingbot, right? So after the feeds come back, the house guests are talking about their zings. We don't have the exact quotes for all of them, but I can give you like the gist of everybody's zings. So that's fun. So Alyssa's was something about being useless and dead weight. And I believe Zingbot was also like, I'm going to repeat that again just so that you can understand it. And apparently she did not realize that Zingbot was implying like, you're dumb. So I have to repeat this again. Michael and Brittany were talking about that later, how like Alyssa didn't realize that. But Alyssa was like, is this what America really thinks of us? She did not like her zing. I think it's much worse what the live feeders think of Alyssa, but like these zings are all about like what is being shown on the show and what storylines the show is putting out there for everybody, but it's not necessarily a true read, some much worse stuff could have been zinged about Alyssa. But anyway, Turner's was something about not showering. He's like, am I smelly? I shower. WTF, Michael's was something like masks are optional unless you have a face like Michael. Damn, Zingbot's calling Michael ugly. That's so sad. That one seems a little bit like out of line. I'm not into that. But Taylor's was about being cold-hearted, and you know what? She loved it. She thought it was funny. She says that was good fun. She had a good time with it. Monty's was something about being boring. I guess. I don't know. Terrance's was something about being an underground DJ, DJ Showtime, and how nobody knows who he is. But then the crazy part was when they were talking about this, Alyssa was like, why did they say you're underground? Do you DJ like underground? Oh my God! I can't. Brittany's apparently was one of the best because Zingbot like sang her a song, something along the lines of like the song Jeepers Creepers. And then Zingbot told Brittany that she has crazy effing eyes. Which is fun because I feel like I've seen so many conversations where Brittany will be like listening to someone and going like, and it's a lot. But anyway, those are the zings. So that's what we're working with. I feel like the zings used to zing a lot harder, but we'll take what we can get, I guess, right? Anyway, so Taylor and Michael have a quick check-in in the storage room. And Taylor's like, top 6, woo! She says, a big rousing thank you to you, Michael. I don't want you to ever think that I'm ungrateful. And Michael's like, no, this is exciting, like top 6. And Michael says his one-on-one conversations are going to be awkward because he already knows what he wants to do here. But he does still want to talk to everybody and see, like, does anybody have information still that they want to spill? So Taylor's got some info to spill. She says, Alyssa told me that she and Kyle had sex many times in the house in many different places. Did Alyssa also share that like all of those times added up to like less than a minute? But they're wondering like where it happened. I would want to know where it happened too, because I would want to be able to like steer clear of that area until it's like cleaned. But anyway, yeah, it's out there now. Everybody knows that Alyssa and Kyle were doing the nasty. Okay, so a little later, Taylor and Brittany are chatting in the kitchen and they are talking about the plan for the week. So they're pretty sure that Michael will be putting Terrance and Alyssa up on the block because that is what was discussed previously. And Taylor's asking, like, do you know if Michael's decided who will go up if one of the nominees wins the power veto? And Brittany says she doesn't think he's really like made his decision on that, but she assumes that it would be Turner going up on the block. Because what would the alternative be, right? He's not going to want to put up Brittany or Taylor and risk them going. They're supposed to be in a final four with Monty, so Michael's not going to want to put Monty up on the block. So even though Michael promised Turner safety this week, he could find himself up on the block if there is a replacement needed. So yeah. Michael did confirm this like later on with Taylor that he probably would put Turner up on the block. But anyway, Brittany and Taylor are agreeing Terrance or Alyssa cannot win the power of veto this week because then things are gonna get hairy. So Brittany is pretty worried about Turner. She does not want him winning HOH next week. She feels like Turner is the biggest threat to their games at this point. And Taylor says we got to beat him, right? I mean, they're getting to a point in the game where you just got to win some competitions here. So, okay. Brittany says she had a good conversation earlier with Monty about the four sticking together. And she thinks that it would honestly be in Monty's best interest to use Michael to take out Turner. Because she says, what good would it be for Monty to win HOH and take out Michael, only for Turner to win HOH the following week and take out Monty? I don't think he would though. Like I think Turner would want to go to the end with Monty. I think he's pretty loyal to Monty. It's not like that. But they're assuming like whoever takes out Michael is going to become like the new big target, right? Because they're going to have that huge move on their resume. So yeah, Brittany is saying like Monty should want to take out Turner. I don't think so. So anyway, they agree that they would like Terrance to leave this week. Brittany seems to think that Alyssa would win if she makes it to the end. Oh my god. I mean, maybe now that people are so pissed at Michael and Brittany, you never know. You never know. But Alyssa, she feels would be easier to beat in competitions than Terrance. So then they're talking about Michael because, a lot of people have been saying Michael's got to go or he's going to win this whole thing. But Brittany and Taylor are working very closely with Michael. So Brittany says it would be really great if we didn't have to be the ones to take Michael out. She says, again, it's going to be a huge resume booster for whoever does end up taking out Michael. And Taylor says, yeah, you're absolutely right. So, like, whoever takes him out, that's if it's not us, like, we need to then target that person because we got to get him out of there because they're going to be like guaranteed to win if they make it to the end. So, Brittany, again, she does not want to be the one to take Michael out. She cautions, like, if we take him out too early, people are not going to want to take us to the final two anymore. So we should go to the final three with Michael, and then we'll take him out there. Brittany is trying to hold on to Michael for as long as possible. I'm honestly not even sure if she plans on cutting him at the final three, like she says, because I think she just like really wants to go to the end with her BFF. But does she not realize that she would lose? I don't know. So Taylor's like, yeah, that sounds good. Unless Monty takes Michael out instead. Like if he takes him out and we don't have to. So they're not really like sure what's going to happen with that whole situation, but they are very excited because they feel like the final two is actually within reach for them. They could make it there. We'll see. All right. Later, Michael gets his HOH room and he got pictures of him with his fiance Hayden, his cats, his friends. I feel like I've seen this like twice already. He got socks, a new hoodie, flip-flops, cider, brownie mix, skincare, snacks and treats. I believe his music this time is Katy Perry. And of course he got another letter from Hayden. Aw. Hayden says, I'm celebrating with our girls. It kills me every time Hayden refers to their cats as our girls. That's very cute. Honestly, I'm surprised the letter wasn't from their cats. Remember when Shelly was the HOH on season 17 and she got the letter from her dog? I could see Michael getting a letter from his cats. But seriously, it was a very, very sweet letter, as usual, from Hayden. He really does write a great letter. So everybody hangs out for a bit in the HOH room, and then they start one-on-ones around like 2:15 a.m. So, just some highlights from these one-on-ones. I'm not going to go super in depth with all these because we know what's going to happen, right? We know Terrance and Alyssa are going up on the block. But anyway, Terrance is up first with Michael. And Michael made it clear in pretty much like all of his one-on-ones, he does not want to put Turner up this week because of what he did last week. He says, I don't want the message to be that like you get punished after doing something good. You know, Turner did not have to put Kyle up on the block. That wasn't necessarily the best thing for his game, but he did that for the good of the house. So Michael wants to respect that and keep Turner safe this week. So Terrance says he feels like he's really at the bottom of the barrel right now. He's trying to figure out where he fits in this game. He says, I'll be honest, I don't have a game plan. So if I fit in your game plan, I'd love to chop it up with you. You know, let's do this. So then Michael's like, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly happened at Dyer Fest. If you could walk me through that. So Terrance is talking all about that and how it all went down. He's saying Kyle spilled the beans about the leftovers, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it. We've seen it, sort of. We've seen some of it. So Terrance is claiming also that he did not know what Turner was going to do as HOH last week. He didn't know that Taylor and Brittany were going up on the block. Right. Michael knows the truth. He knows that Turner was going to try and backdoor him last week. But he's still going to respect what Turner did. He's not planning on putting him up unless he has to as a replacement. So, okay, Alyssa's up next, and she's telling Michael, I'm a free agent. I'm able to play now. You've been able to play this whole time. What? Nobody told you had to get into a showmance and, like, throw out your game just to focus on the showmance. But anyway, she says she wants to play this game with Michael and Brittany. And Alyssa says, I have some information to share with you that I got from Kyle before he left. So she tells Michael about the pound. She says, Kyle, Joseph, Monty, and Turner, they had an alliance of 4 within the leftovers. And Michael's like, cool. There was some speculation about that before. So I do appreciate you confirming that for me. I'd be pissed if I found out about the pound and I was in the leftovers after Turner made such a big stink last week about this, like, made up final 3 with Brittany, Taylor, and Joseph. Meanwhile, he's been in the final 4 since the beginning of the leftovers. Like, what? So anyway, that was the info that Alyssa had to share. Michael chats with Brittany, and we get some more insight into what he's actually thinking this week. And Michael confirms, yes, he is planning on putting up Terrance and Alyssa, and he would prefer to see Terrance go this week. He's a little bit nervous that Monty and Taylor would want Alyssa to go instead. But Brittany says no. Like, Taylor wants Terrance out. She's been saying that for a while, right? So Brittany says there are arguments for either Terrance or Alyssa to go this week. Michael says he would rather go up against Alyssa in a double eviction because Terrance has won a few competitions. So he is capable of winning. Um, Brittany also brings up that Terrance is actively targeting Michael and Taylor, so it would make sense to target him this week. So, at the same time, Brittany brings up that their biggest threat to their games right now is Turner. She's really nervous that Turner is going to win HOH next week and take a shot at them. But she says she respects that Michael does not want to target Turner this week, but they really need to focus on taking him out next week. So Michael is also not really interested in taking a shot at Monty this week either. And Brittany agrees she feels like it's good to keep Monty to help them take out Turner. She just really wants to make sure that Turner does not win HOH. I if Monty wins HOH, he's also going to take a shot at Michael next week. But okay. So Michael, part of his reasoning for wanting to keep Monty around is essentially like as a shield. Maybe people will want to target Monty over him, but also he's hoping that if people do target him, they will put Monty up next to him and not Brittany. I feel like most people would put Brittany up next to Michael, right? I mean, that's what I would think, but I don't know. So anyway, Brittany also lets Michael know, like, I love Taylor so much, but you need to know Taylor really wants someone to take you out. She is just waiting for someone to win HOH and take you out. She thinks that her and I are locked in for a final two, but Brittany says that's not the case. She reaffirms that she is locked in with Michael for a final two, not Taylor. So Brittany says at this point, we just got to keep winning competitions. AKA, Michael, you have to keep winning competitions. I mean, Brittany has won a few, but let's be real. Michael is the comp winner here, right? So after that, Michael continues his one-on-ones. He talks to Turner, then Monty, then Taylor. They were all pretty similar conversations. He lets them all know that he's putting Terrance and Alyssa up on the block, with Terrance being more of the target. And like I mentioned earlier, Michael also confirmed to Taylor that at this point he's thinking if they needed a replacement nominee after the veto, it would be Turner. Okay. So, important conversation here. Late last night, Monty and Turner were chatting at the Tiki Bar, and this was similar to what Monty was talking about with Terrance earlier. Monty and Turner are pissed about how Michael and Brittany held on to that Kyle information for so long, used it for their games, and are now acting like it wasn't for game. It was just weighing heavily on their hearts. This wasn't a good move for their game. So Monty and Turner are like, no, this was a great move for their game. Are you kidding me? They got Kyle out of here. They're both safe this week. Like, what? So Monty and Turner were already targeting Michael before this anyway, because they realized, like, nobody's going to be able to beat Michael in the end, or at least they weren't going to be able to before. But now they're also thinking we got to take a shot at Brittany when we can, because Monty is thinking we now have a fighting chance against Michael in the final two, because the jury is going to be pissed about what Michael and Brittany did. So Monty says he's not going to vote for Michael to win unless he is up against Brittany in the final two. And Monty says Terrance was talking about how he's going to go into that jury house and try and sway everybody against Michael and Brittany. Monty says he's going to do that too if he's in the jury house. Damn. Turner says it was the most effed up Big Brother move ever. Ever? I don't know about that. Let's not get too crazy here. But yeah, they think most effed up move ever. All right. Let me know what you think. Okay, so then that was all last night. This morning, Alyssa checks in with Michael again, and Michael lets her know he does, in fact, have an idea of what he would like to see happen this week. He says he has a target in mind who has been throwing out his name. Is it everyone? I mean, honestly, everyone's been throwing out his name at this point, but it's Terrance. Michael lets Alyssa know it's not you. But he is trying to figure out who to put up next to this person that he's going to be targeting. So Alyssa is pitching again that she wants to work with Michael. And this next part, I'm sorry, it's just like a lot. So Alyssa is like, in season 16, when Cody decided to take Derek to the end, and like I'm sure he knew that he wasn't going to be able to win. So Alyssa's saying, I would love to sit next to the best player in the final too. And she's telling Michael, I would love to go to the end with you, even knowing that I would lose. And like, look at Cody, how he came back and he won All Stars. And she's saying, like, wouldn't it be wild if like that was my path? So Alyssa's saying she's going to go to the end with Michael. She's going to lose. She's going to be somehow selected to come back for another All-Star season, and she's going to win. I don't know what to do with that. I just dream big, girl. Dream big. All right. So anyway, Michael lets Alyssa know there aren't that many people for him to choose from for nominations, so he cannot promise that she's not going to be going up on the block. AKA, you're going up on the block, but you're not my target yet. Okay, so that was that. Terrance also had a chat with Michael again, and Terrance was like, all right, let's be real. I know that the nominations are probably going to be some combo of me, Monty, and Alyssa, because you're tight with Taylor, you're tight with Brittany, you said you're not putting Turner up. And Michael pretty much confirms, like, yes, you are correct. It's going to be like some combo of you three. So Terrance is again saying that he wants to work with Michael. And Terrance, his pitch is, how cool would it be if the first two people up on the block this season end up sitting in the final two next to each other? Another wild final two scenario. I think at one point Michael asked Terrance, like, have you heard anybody like throw my name around about like taking me out? And Terrance was like, I think he basically said, like, no one is really saying they're like targeting you, but like there's a lot of discussion about like how nobody could beat you in the end. Michael knows that Terrance is lying. This conversation is not changing anything, but a lot of the day so far has been spent sleeping. The house guests are catching up on their Z's. The nomination ceremony is supposed to be happening later, so if you guys want to check back, I will post the nominations in the info for this spoiler. But I mean, it's looking like Terrance and Alyssa are going up on the block. Unless something insane happens, that is the plan. So let me know what you guys think about all that.
Oh, hi.
Hello, Bowie. Hello. Oh, Bowie.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Okay, so I would like to thank all of our super chatters. So Norm the Cat, thank you so much.
Norman.
Yeah, Don MH302, thank you so much. Angela H, thank you so much. Holly M, thank you so much for the super chat. Susie Loy, thank you so much for the super chat. Vincent Campos, thank you so much for the super chat. And Vincent says, thank you, Maddie, for the updates. Thank you for watching. Vajra, thank you so much. Vajra says, I've got a bad case of fall fever. Summer was fun, but I'm ready for crisp mornings, apple cider, pumpkin spice, autumn colors, and the start of spooky season. New York autumn must be lovely. I can confirm it is. I love New York autumn. It's so much fun. And I will say, I'm such a summer girl. I love summer so much. But for some reason, this season, like this year, I am really also craving fall. I think just because it's been like such a hot summer, I'm ready for it to cool off a little bit. Yeah.
We already got a bag of New York apples.
Yeah, that's also exciting. You can't miss apple picking in New York. I'll be really sad to close the pool because that is one of my favorite parts of summer. But I guess once the pool is closed, like bring on the fall, because what else is there? No, I'm excited. Thank you so much again, Vajrath, and I hope you have a lovely fall. Paige Elizabeth, thank you so much. Paige says, thank you. Love and appreciate your updates. Thanks for watching, Paige. Mary B, thank you so much. Dane Thomas, thank you so much. Brian Demetrio, thank you so much for the super chat. And Brian says, hey, bad bish. Yeah, yas.
Yas.
I never know if it's bish or bish. I guess either way. But thank you, Brian. I got it. Michael Black, thank you so much. And Shane Wright, thank you so much for your super chat as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I feel so out of it. I don't know if it's like a weird allergy day or what, but also I think my contacts are just like at the end of their lives.
I'm gonna put them down.
I think I gotta get rid of them. These are supposed to be 2 weeks, and I definitely stretched them like a month at least. So I think it's time for new ones. But you know when like your contacts are really old and you just like have this dead feeling in your eyes?
No.
I gotta throw these out. So thank you all so much. I'm sorry if the spoiler was a little all over the place. Seriously, like when my contacts are dead, it like affects my brain. But yeah. Thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for more. And until next time, much love. Bye everybody. Bye. Bye.